Hello, everyone. Today I introduce to you the new series of twin-shaft concrete mixers with G7 Euro brand. This new series has something more special than previous versions. I will introduce it to you soon. Now I'll take you to see the concrete mixer. This is the shape of a concrete mixer with the G7 Euro brand. This is the body of the mixer. This is the hydraulic pump motor to open the concrete mixer discharge door. This is the grease pump for the mixer. And this is the motor to pump water to create pressure for the mixer. And here is the electrical box. This is the operating platform for inspection. This is the planetary gearbox of the mixer. And this is the motor of the mixer. The characteristic of the G7 Euro concrete mixer is that the motor is located at the top. The motor arrangement at the top provides high efficiency and torque. Each mixer has two motors, one on each side. The mixer has two gearboxes, one on each side. The entire G7 Euro mixer is opened with the hydraulic system, and each end of the discharge shaft has a hydraulic cylinder at the bottom. And this is the logo of G7 Euro. This is the nameplate of the concrete mixer. I introduce to you, this is the nameplate of the G7 Euro mixer, meaning the mixer's label. With the G7 Euro mixer, this is the label to identify the brand of the machine. And this label has embossed printing. On the label are the mixer's series numbers, model number, and year of manufacture. All the above numbers are written very neatly. This is the logo of the mixer. This is the G7 Euro brand. This is the word twin-shaft concrete mixer. This is the model of the machine. This is the series number. And this is the month and year of manufacture. Our mixers are manufactured according to standards and assembled under Italy authorization. Next, I will introduce to you the gearbox of the G7 Euro mixer. This is the mixer's gearbox. Two in total, one on each side. The mixer's gearbox is a planetary gearbox. All G7 Euro mixers use world-famous brand gearboxes. Depending on the customer's needs, we will have options for customers to choose a gearbox. It could be an Italian Navini brand gearbox, an Italian Bonfiglioli brand gearbox, or Like Brand. Like Brand is a high-quality product. When transporting, we will close this lid so that the oil does not leak out. When going to the construction site to install and operate equipment for customers, especially customers who are located outside the borders, outside the territory of Vietnam and exporting to Europe or surrounding countries. After installation, we will install an oil and oil vent pipe. This cap is responsible for keeping the oil from going out onto the container floor during transportation. We would like to introduce to you two motors of the G7 Euro mixer. With the structure of the G7 Euro mixer, the motor is arranged at the top. Aims to increase the efficiency of the mixer. And the brands that use motors for G7 Euro mixers are high-quality brands. For example, the Wannon brand. Wannon is one of the motor manufacturers ranked third in the world in terms of output and quality. In addition, customers have other options. We will recommend options from several other motor brands in the world. Examples are Siemens Motors of German or ABB Motors of Switzerland, etc. Here, with a mixer that has 3 cubic meters per batch, The power of motor is 2 by 55 kilowatts. For products exported abroad to the European market, G7 motors choose motors that meet CE standards and environmental standards, as well as voltage lines. For example, in Germany and Cyprus, the current is 400 volts. However, in the US, 120 volts is used, unlike in Vietnam, which is 380 volts. Introducing to you this is the pulley of the two gearboxes of the G7 Euro mixer. Then each side of the pulley will have 5 belts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And between the two pulleys is the shaft end coupling. These two red ones are the shaft end couplings. Always keep the two shafts of the mixer in a certain symmetrical position according to design standards. A very important feature of the G7 Euro mixer is the design of the jar that supports the shaft end of the mixer. We designed the support to always lie separate from the body's mixer. That is an advantage when the seal is damaged. The cement water that flows out cannot enter the bearings of the bearings at both ends of the shaft. All G7 Euro 4 shaft mixers are located outside the body's mixer. This is the grease pump of the G7 Euro mixer. For all G7 Euro mixers, applicable to all models that use automatic grease pumps and have 4 pressure gauges for 4 shaft ends. The grease pumping of the G7 Euro mixer is very important. In addition to the task of lubricating the 4 shaft ends, the main task of the grease pump is to create a pressure to balance the pressure in the mixer when the mixer produces concrete. When the grease pump is damaged, we need to have a solution immediately. While waiting for the automatic grease pump to be fixed, we can use the manual grease pump. And all our G7 Euro machines have a manual grease pump design, pumping at the grease nipples like this. On each nipple there is a note indicating how many hours it will take to pump, so please pay attention. And you can see these details in the user manual. On both sides, there are 2 cylinders that open the mixing pot discharge door. The cylinder is inside here. You probably won't be able to see it. Inside here, this is the cylinder. Similarly, on the other side, there will be another cylinder. 2 shafts at both ends to prevent twisting of the discharge door. Some mixer brands in the world only make cylinders at one end of the shaft. That causes the exhaust door to quickly twist, and quickly damage the support bolt. Therefore, this is one of the advantages and a relative difference of the G7 Euro mixer. Here I introduce to you, this is the cylinder that opens the mixing pot discharge door. With the G7 Euro mixer, there will be 2 cylinders on both sides to prevent twisting of the discharge door. If you look at some brands in the world, maybe they open with compressed air, and maybe some of them are designed to only use 1 cylinder. Using such a cylinder causes damage very quickly for discharge door. However, the G7 we designed uses 2 cylinders at both shaft ends of the discharge door. Although it increases the cost, it will protect the door from being twisted. Next, I will introduce to you. This is hydraulic motor. It is used for opening discharge door of the concrete mixer. Compared to previous versions, we still use hydraulic motors. Although the electrical capacity is equivalent, the compression efficiency creates twice the hydraulic pressure compared to the previous generation mixer, generating large capacity in any situation. If there is an ice jam, the door will still open normally. This is the lever. This hand is only used when the power is out. Here, I introduce to you the inside of the G7 Euro mixer. The first is about arms. This is a mixer with 3 cubic meters per batch. It has 18 arms and 18 hands. All liners of G7 Euro mixer are cast in very thick and highly wear-resistant alloy. As the lining of this mixer body is completely used Hardox 500 wear-resistant steel. You know, the price on the market is very high and has a very long anti-wear life. In addition, all the G7 Euro mixers we design use spiral nozzles. These spiral nozzles are responsible for spraying water evenly. And in addition, there are straight discharge nozzles, which discharge directly into locations where concrete often sticks. This is one of the designs that other mixers have not been able to do, or people have not improved. With the G7 Euro mixer, when provided to customers, there will be an additional option to provide an additional water pump to create pressure for the water injection system in the mixer, aimed to clean mixing hands and arms. This choice is up to the customer. However, for long-time customers, we still promote water pump motors like this. Another very important feature of the G7 Euro mixer is the mixer's access door. G7 Euro's concrete mixer will have 3 access doors. Here, one on this side. On this side, there are 2. Creating many access doors like this makes it easier for customers to maintain and replace the pads, making it easier and airier. The access door of this mixer is also an option. Customers need to design 1 door, 2 doors, 3 doors, or 4 doors. The G7 Euro manufacturer can fully satisfy. For all G7 Euro mixers, we have warning labels and instructions for customers to read and understand, in addition to consulting the catalog. Here, for example, we have instructions that are the direction of rotation of the left shaft, direction of rotation of the right shaft, instructions for pumping grease, grease pump warning, important information to pay attention to when operating. And we even have tables showing the positions of the mixing arm on the mixing shaft, and are sequentially numbered. Here, what is number 1, what is number 2, etc. You can see more in the product catalog. At G7, we believe technology creates quality and service creates value. Thank you for watching the video. See you again in the next videos.